kind of warm here today. It's about 4 Celsius or just 40 Fahrenheit there. Looks like my thermometer's breaking. There's a little bit of a break up there in the alcohol red line there. That's too bad. Got that last year, a couple years ago maybe. So as you can see, not a lot of snow here. A lot of my tracks, but as I was going around the cabin getting things ready, I noticed that there's some other tracks around. Investigating. So I think a skunk, if you look here, it's a skunk footprint. I think we've got a skunk kind of messing around the cabin here, which is not great. But really they can't do too much under here. Some junk under there, but really no place to dig. So that's a good thing. Just probably passing through. A few more little tracks there. And I don't think that's a porcupine. Gosh, I hope it's not, because normally they have like a little drag mark. Because of course our cabin is pine, and not really interested in a porcupine chewing on it, to be honest, but nothing much I can do to prevent that. I also think we've got some foxes around here. I don't see any mice. Last year I blocked up all kind of underneath the siding. That's how they were getting in. I have not caught a single mouse since I did that, so that's a really good thing. So things are looking pretty good. My usual surveillance of the cabin, just making sure things are fine. Nothing's wrong with the roof or the soffit. Things try to get up in there. That's awesome. So yeah, I've got my little sled here again, and just getting out the snowmobile. So there's a little Bravo there. I fired it up just to bring a couple things in. I mean, you never do this. You never take a machine out in this little snow, but I just want to drag a few heavy items in. It's a little bit too greasy for my car to try to get up that hill and such. So we usually take the snowmobile in the wintertime. So I went to go get the snowmobile out from its usual spot, kind of up in here. You have to kind of drive it through, and the trees have really made a lot of progress in their growth this year. So I'm going to have to figure out, a pathway through here. Obviously I won't be making it now, but I'm thinking I might have to actually do a little bit of machete work. Because trying to get through here, I've got to whack into these things, which is not very good. Of course, the trees are just coming along beautifully. I'm going to have to select a Christmas tree as part of my project while I'm here. I have to go through here and pick a tree of my dreams. You can see in the spring here, I'm going to have to do a bit more. Oh, there's a little mouse or something went through there. I'm going to have to do a bit of thinning here. You can see they just get super close in here, and you're going to have to take them down. So every Christmas I take down a tree, helps with the thinning process. But gosh, it's like a never-ending job to try to manage this little pine forest that I'm trying to start here. Of course, this is dried up weeds from the spring, goldenrod. But this is gorgeous. This is going to be awesome. I can't believe how much these trees have come up even in a year. But it does make it a little bit tricky to try to get through here in the snowmobile. Well, of course I need a bit more snow too, but that's a project. Got to work on that. There. Hey, look at, you can see the solar panels on the roof now. There's 4 big panels on the shower house. That's actually a pretty good vantage point right there. You guys can see a few things. So things are working great in there. Let's go take a look. I have a new way to heat it. Just a closer look at the panels. And there's a tiny little panel here on the back, and that one is for solar powered light, basically, that turns on automatically, a shed light. It's been a while since I've had you all here. So it's a bit of a storage area right now. So there's a shed light that pops on when you walk in front of it. So that's really handy. There's also a light up here that's attached to the battery. Boom. So isn't that nice? The ceiling's up, and there's a hatch into the attic. Next up is insulating that area, and the insulation's sitting right there. R12, kind of pop some of that up in there. So that'll be nice. That'll insulate the roof a little bit better. So it's really not too cold in here, so it's not a big deal right now. But when we get down to -20, -30, -10, it'll be quite different. So I want to show you what I've got to heat the room. No, it's not the kerosene heater or a wood stove. It's a little buddy heater. thought this would be the perfect thing just to kind of keep it warm. Of course, you gotta be really careful. This is not really made for indoor use. This does put off carbon monoxide because you use propane to run it. But if you're just sort of heating it up, I can crack the window over here. Not like I'm gonna be living in here or anything. It's just to have a bathroom break or a shower, you know, so it takes the chill off. So I think that should be fine. It's just a little tiny Mr. Buddy heater to heat this small little 8x8 space. Of course, it's full of stuff right now, but eventually this will get all cleaned out. That right there is the stack for the fan. So battery powered fan exhausts any fumes out through the roof. So yeah, it's come along. I'm pretty thrilled with it, but this is going to be a game changer here, having a little buddy heater in here just to turn it on, crack a window so you don't get carbon monoxide poisoning, and just to heat up the shower area so it's not you're not freezing to death when you're having your nightly shower or whatever. I've attached a propane tank to the little buddy heater, got it started, and wow, it is kicking off a ton of heat. That's just in the low setting. No, actually I put it to high. But low setting is actually adequate enough. It's actually pretty toasty in here after about 10 minutes. I can hardly wait to get this insulated up in here. It's going to heat up a heck of a lot faster. I already see the steam on the windows. Got the window cracked because of course these heaters are not meant for indoor use. This is going to be awesome. Pretty excited. So I'm actually going to turn this off now because it's just, you know, the chill has been taken off. I don't really need this running all the time, especially if I'm not there. So just turn that off like that. Perfect. Oh, the pilot's still going. I guess I just gotta push it down a bit further. There we go. Just as I'm walking out of the shower house here, here's my little stove. I'm gonna do a little overnighter probably tomorrow night. See, I made the collar here for it, and the 4-inch pipe stove fits in there. Yeah, it's great. And then I've got other sections of it here, so I'm gonna use that on my little overnighter. Had to buy a new snowmobile cover. Mine, it was ripped to shreds, so a lot of UV damage. I stored the snowmobile just over there by the shed. Of course, all the UV damage and the weather, and I'm sure some squirrels dug around at it, so they don't last very long, a few years. So I've got this next one I'm going to put up. We're supposed to get some really heavy rain tonight, so I want to make sure our machine's covered for tonight. A while back, you remember that there's a burrow up here, so I want to see what the heck was there. So I set up a trail cam a while back and let it go now for quite some time. Let's go check it out, see if we have any good pictures at all. I've also got camera set up by the otter toilet, so we'll have to go check that out. It's getting a bit dark for that, but check out this one. You can see here, grass is really trampled down through in here, so I think we're going to get some good footage. You know, that's a problem this time of year. You don't think it looks dark here on the camera. It's actually approaching dusk very soon. This cell phone's, I'm grateful for it because it does pick up well in tricky lighting. So yeah, it's hard to film this time of year because we start losing light. So just got a little bit more chores to do. I arrived here at the cabin pretty late, so just kind of piddle around a little bit. We'll go take a look at this and see what we can get up to. So I hope you really enjoyed that intro sequence. That was taken by my DJI Mavic Mini drone. Now you will have a really interesting perspective of the cabin and where I hang out. So it's also eye-opening for me too to see what everything looks like around the cabin from the air, from the bird's eye view. I'm just hanging out here having some tea, warming up. I just got here. It's sort of the end of the day. I've got a few things left to do before we lose our light, but I'm just having my tea and I'm enjoying my homemade trail mix. I'll give you guys a quick peek as to what's in it. So, you know, I was dehydrating fruit a little while back, and here's the fruits of my labor. So I have some strawberries. I have, what's that? That is, oh, that's a mango. And we have some blackberries and a pear, an apple. Also had some almonds in there earlier. And also I want to show you, this is my favorite part, dark chocolate covered coffee beans. So a little energy boost on the trail. So it's worth it, guys, to make your own homemade trail mix. You can make it whatever you want, and it doesn't have to be full of sunflower seeds and raisins. You can have whatever you'd like in there. So the heater's on. It's really toasty warm in here. Look outside. You can see not a whole lot of snow out there. My little chickadee friends were begging me to put some more seeds out, so I just popped some in the feeder there. Hopefully they come on back for that, and I've also filled up feeder there at the back. Inside it's about 16 Celsius and 55% humidity, so it's feeling pretty darn good in here. The low was actually 1 Celsius before I got this heated up. So you can see behind me lots of orange. It's deer hunting season around here, so hunters out there hunting, so you want to be really careful. So got everything orange and red to wear on my adventures outside. No amazing shots, but it's a skunk. Take a look. Woo! We have a skunk. So maybe that's the little guy that's been piddling around the cabin. He's out and about looking around. As you recall, I found a dead skunk carcass actually in that same area. Sort of weird. It's like he fell over and died or something. No one was picking at it or anything, except later on when the vultures had at him. But here he is, little skunky. So new skunks moved in, and maybe that's the one that's been exploring under the cabin. But looks like he has his own home, so I'm not really all that worried about it. Well, it's almost Christmas time, so I want to start my cabin decorating, and I bought these little indoor-outdoor LED lights. I want to kind of decorate them around the windows, and they're powered by 2 AA batteries, so you can use rechargeables if you want. And I think they stay on for about 6 hours, and they can turn off. There's a bit of a little unit here that sort of controls the power to them. So that's pretty cool. So I've got 2. I'm going to hopefully set them up around these big windows. How am I going to set them up? Well, I've got these little suction cups that have little hooks on them. You guys can see that. So that's going to hold on the Christmas lights. So let's get at it. One thing, of course, is getting these little suction cups to stick to a cold window. That might be a problem. All right, my mistake. 3 batteries are in this, 3 AA's. So there we go. It's kind of a little bit of a different setup here. So they twinkle. Whoa, no way. Okay, I like that. But look at, there's different ways that's off. Like, ew, stressing me out. No. Nope. Oh boy, these look pretty funny. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's the one where they kind of fade a bit, yeah. And there's that. It's like a siren or something. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave them like that. I think that's much better. Let's get these up. These lights are bigger than I thought. Oh boy. Oh well. These windows are pretty large, so we can deal with it. I'm gonna put that down here, and then wow, impressive. I may have to go around a couple of times with these. But how this works is that these little suction cups come with these little hooks, and you just sort of hook them around the suction cup, and then it grabs your Christmas lights. So then suction cup under the window. Or not. It seems like a terrible product. I don't know what I was thinking. I might just use tape. Like, I don't know how this even works. I think these are supposed to go around the suction cup, but they literally, like, fall off. I don't know. Maybe, I think you might have to use gravity to your favor here. Oh my. Maybe I should have read the instructions, eh? I have a feeling this is all going to be on the ground by morning. It's a club cabin. I was just kidding. Oh man, I could not leave it on that setting. It's like the police showed up in here. All right, let's get this in a more reasonable setting, but I really like the idea of having both lights on both sets of windows there. Oh, I think that looks really nice. Perfect. Really like how that looks. Starting to feel like Christmas. Gotta look for something for supper. Don't know what I'm gonna have. Well, you know what? I'm gonna phone it in. I'm gonna have it, Mr. Noodles. Yep, that's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. Really not all that hungry, so this will hit the spot, warm me up, and give me a little bit of carbs and salt. Just gotta boil some water. And I got to refill my propane tank. This one's getting pretty empty, but it's lasted me quite some time. So got to sort that out because pretty soon this is going to run out of juice. But got two big tanks obviously at the back if I had to. And of course a little green propane canister in the little buddy. I could probably use that if this died on me. But anyway, I'm just going to boil some water to make my soup. I've had to set up my sink a bit differently. You can see right here, this is the pump. Normally the water sits underneath the sink here. It pumps, it goes into a pail. The pail you can see right there. However, in the winter, there's some leftover water in here and it freezes the handle. In the past, I've kind of pushed away at it and we actually end up breaking that unit. So it's a replacement. I still don't think it's that great. Really gonna have to reimagine the kitchen sink. So instead, I just bring this big jug of water here and I tip it over the sink to wash hands or do dishes or whatnot. So anyway, I don't know if you guys have any ideas about this. Was such a nice looking little unit, but it's not very practical in the winter, as you know, even though you drain the line out, there's still a little bit of moisture that stays in there and it freezes. Like this is still frozen even though it's warm in here, so I can't move that arm. And if I force it, I'm going to break the seal, which I did last year. So that's the replacement, but I think there's even a slight leak in that one too. So looking for different pump options for this sink. So any ideas, put them down below in the comments. All right, so get my soup ready here. Just gonna let the noodles soak. It's gonna be nice. I know it's not an amazing dinner, but we'll have a little bit of a sandwich later, but I'm gonna start with some yummy soup. Well, I got fancy and put some jalapeno cheddar on top. That's good. I swear these little light my fire sporks were made for Mr. Noodles. You know, you got the fork for your noodles and the spoon for the broth after. Not a couple of these actually. So I'm just gonna have my supper and then I'm gonna read, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. This is Harrow Smith's Farmer's Almanac. I love these kind of books. You know, there are lots of information about, you know, weather and forecasting for the year and cool little articles as well. So you also get it, you know, as a Farmer's Almanac, but I like the Harrow Smith's Almanac because it is 100% Canadian and has some predictions for next year and some really good articles in it for, you know, homesteading and things like that. Like this issue's got stuff about hops. So I'm pretty excited. I planted a hops plant at home. As you guys know, I'm into doing wild crafted brewing and things like that. So I want to read up on hops and see how I can use them to make my next batch of beer coming up. So anyways, I'm just going to read this and finish my supper and I'll catch you guys in the morning. Got up this morning to the sound of the birds at the window. They have discovered the feeders, which is awesome. Doesn't take them very long. So got 2 of the feeders set up and they've been going like mad at it all morning so far. And the rain is starting again. Rained all last night, high winds. A lot of the snow has melted away. Kind of want to get out and do some stuff this morning, but it just started pouring again. So I'm just going to stay inside and do a little bit of stuff around here and watch the birds eat. I'm happy to report that only one of the little suction cups fell down overnight on my Christmas lights. It's pretty cool. Like the product says, the little Christmas lights, they turn off after about 6 hours. So 6 hours on, 18 hours off. So yeah, they're pretty neat. I think they're a nice addition to the cabin, getting ready for the holidays. Well, it looks like one of my jobs today is going to be to get some more propane just for the barbecue. Got a lot of propane here for the cabin and for the little buddy heater, but I'm out. I knew it was coming. I just wanted to use up the last drop of the tank, so probably grab some propane today. I'm going to take the DJI out in a flight. Hope it's going to be okay. I don't know. It's a little windy, a little dreary today. Sun's been kind of peeking in and out. See the temperature wise here. We're at about 2 degrees. So I'm going to make my plans for the day. I'm thinking, this is my plan, my itinerary. I'm sticking to it. I'm going to try to grab a Christmas tree. And I'm thinking I want to insulate the attic in the shower house. So I'm going to go up there, see what needs to be done. Probably do that because it's kind of a dreary morning. I don't want to stick out of the dampness this morning, so I'll go in there and do that. Yeah, and fly the DJI. Oh, and I want to head over and check the trail camera down by the otter slide, see if I got anything. So that'll be down by the bay, so we'll go and check that out as well. Nothing too exciting for breakfast, just a coffee and some apple cinnamon oatmeal, and I put a few of my dried fruit in there, so it's gonna be good. Just doing a little bit of drone practice. The winds are high and it's starting to snow a little bit. There's a few little flakes coming out of the sky. It's gonna be cooling down for the rest of the day. It's about +2 right now, going down to -6, so it's gonna be dropping steadily throughout the day. The winds are pretty high. I was a bit nervous about flying this morning, but I had some good shots. Out looking for a Christmas tree, so many trees around here to choose from. It's really awesome to see it from the air as to what we have there. Those are not the planted trees. Those ones are ones that are naturally seeded from 2 big tall pines in the field. Baby pines, as you were, about 5 or 6 years old now, so every year I take one for Christmas, so just trying to decide which one. Lots to choose from. Well, I've been piddling around the cabin here for a little while and it doesn't look like the wind's going to die down. So let's get out, go check the trail cam and grab the Christmas tree. Well, I got 21 pictures on my first trail cam setup here. I'll take this inside to show you. Got quite a few night shots here. A couple daytime shots of a grouse, I think. Oh, a bird flew at the camera. Look at that. That's kind of weird. Like a robin. So, ooh, lots of deer. Some nice deer in this area. There's always been a lot of deer near the cabin, which is... Oh, there's a nice buck. Look at that. Cool. Oh, someone's hunting dog. And the fox. Ooh, a black bear. Ooh, and there's snow on the ground too. You know, that's the first time I've got a black bear on the camera in a while near the cabin. Well, hopefully that one's bedded down somewhere. I don't want to run into that on my little overnighter. Yeah, lots of deer and fox. There is a fox den sort of behind the cabin there. I've heard him screaming at night. Yeah, there's a rabbit. Oh, that's interesting. Kind of looks like a merlin swooping through. I'm going to have to zoom in on that. That's really cool. Hello, little trail friend. They find me anywhere. Swooping around. Some of you called me the Snow White of the woods. It's pretty funny. Yeah, they're zipping around here thinking I have some seeds for them. I was actually just looking down here. There's quite a bit of trail work I have to do. I've been kind of slacking this year with the trail work, and it's coming back to bite me a little bit. So, well, guess I'll get at that in the spring. Well, for those of you that don't think mushrooms grow in the wintertime, here we go. I've got some here and some right on this log. They just came out. They're nice and fresh. Awesome. Starting to freeze up a little bit though. Oh well, that's nice to see. Of course, here's some wild edible witch's butter. That one's a little bit frozen too, but that gives us a... I think you can put that in soup or whatnot. It has a jelly-like texture, obviously. So, yeah, there's lots of stuff still out here. Of course, don't forget to look up. Right here, you can see some aspen oyster. And on the birch tree beside it, right there, that is birch polypore. That's the one you can use to make a natural band-aid. You can sharpen knives with it, start fires with it. Lots of mushrooms out here. Here we are at the bay and the otter toilet. You can see they use it quite frequently, and earlier in the season they really tore up the ground around here, so got my camera at their height. I'll have to raise this soon because the snow obviously is coming. The bay is frozen over. We'll see if I feel safe enough to take the drone to go and look at the beaver lodge straight ahead. We'll see if there's any activity going on over there. The ice is not safe. You can see, I'll just show down here. There's this lip right here. You can see the lip right there. That's really unsafe. Ice is really thin. Do not want to be out on this ice, so I've got to keep the drone low and out of this heavy wind, I think. Lots of unsafe spots here. But freeze up has begun, so that's good. Well, it looks like we have some beavers right there. There we have the beaver, no otter. The beavers are still here. Oh, there's another one, a couple of them there. So that's cool. Lots of activity from the beavers actually on this trail cam site. Looks like the otters have disappeared for a while. The rest of the photos didn't really capture them, just a little beaver coming up and down on the shore. Well, that's really interesting. Well, let's get the drone over here and we'll go check out the beaver lodge. Since they're around, they're active, let's see what's going on. Well, that was hair-raising in that kind of wind. I don't know if I want to do that again. As you can see, there's nothing going on at the beaver lodge, but the water around there looks unthawed. So I think they are active going in and out of it. They're just not out on top of the lodge poking around. So, very interesting. Definitely a game changer to have a different perspective, taking a look at things here on the property. Well, I think I found the tree. It's this one right here. Let's take it down and bring it home for the holidays. So I'm starting to lose some light here. It's getting on in the afternoon. I never really got around to getting the installation done. I was too busy piddling around with other things around the cabin. So I got to get packed and ready to go. I'm going to go on a solo overnight trip on the land. So that video will be up next week, so stay tuned for that one. I hope you guys enjoyed today's adventure. Have a wonderful week. Take care.